So going to the corner was Lance. Soy's obviously Yuri, so I guess we're gonna go eat where there are a lot of other people. I headed towards the crowd. In real life, I would avoid this at all possible costs, but anyway. In the middle of a massive crowd of girls stood Yeonho. I wasn't planning on going near him, but I wanted to check whether he was enjoying his lunch. Wow. In front of Yeonho was a huge pile of bread. I felt kind of embarrassed for worrying about nothing. I guess I won't have to share my bread. I was about to turn around when I heard Yano's voice. Cutie. I was about to quickly head off, but I guess Yeonho saw me. I hope those girls don't think he was calling me mama. I turned around at his excited voice and saw him looking at me. Yeonho. Where's your lunch? Come here and join me. But all the girls surrounding him still bothers me. Yeonho, this is called melon bread. Here, right beside me. Yeonho ignored the girl trying to talk to him and pointed at the seat next to him. I feel like I shouldn't sit there. Who is she? She's in his class. Oh, the one who hangs out with that noisy girl with big boobs. Sure enough, they didn't seem to like me. Well, then I should just give him the bread like the other girls. Yeonho, I brought this bread for you. I handed him the sponge cake Red gave me. Here, look, I'm just a fan like you guys. Wow, thanks. Yeonho suddenly stood up and took the bread. He must like sponge cake. Write that down, now. Thank you, I'm so touched. He was way too overjoyed for getting just a sponge cake. But Yeonho, I think you're overreacting. I think he's crying out to you for help to get these other girls away from him. The more he's happy about it, the more awkward it gets for me. I'll make sure to eat it, since it's Cutie's gift. Yeonho took the wrapper off and started to eat the sponge cake. I see several torn wrappers piled up in front of him. He seemed to have already eaten 3, but he bites off the cake regardless. Yeonho, are you okay? You're not full? I can eat it. Oh, I hope he doesn't get stomachache later. He starts nibbling on the cake. He seemed to be eating them on purpose, even though he's quite full. Yeonho must really like sponge cake. This is important information. Munch, 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 munch. He didn't have to eat it just because I gave it to him, but he stuffed it into his mouth. I should tell him he doesn't have to do that next time. Flash. Oh, I actually got to have lunch instead of having a big fiasco. Interesting. I'm back. I came in the house saying hi lifelessly and heard someone energetically shout back. Yes, Red? Oh, you're here early. Red was munching on something on the sofa. I noticed the snack wrappers on his hands. Alright, Choco snack, my favorite. What's with the snack? Someone in my class gave it to me. It's chocolate flavored and it's really good. Want to try some? No, I'm not really hungry. Just from a glance, I could tell it was something expensive from abroad. Woohoo. To give something like that, does that girl have a crush on Red? Where's Yellow? He has cleaning duties today. Red focused his attention back to the TV as usual. The person who greets me when I come home often changes. If everyone came back home together, we'd arrive at the same time, but Lance insists on coming back alone. And I'm avoiding leaving school with Yeonho so no one takes it the wrong way. What? Did something happen? No. I saw Red sitting in front of the TV turn around and look at me. I smiled back. Don't worry about me, Red. Now when I come home after school, I don't feel so empty, because I have the dolls. Now when I open the door, someone's waiting for me. Although it's only been a couple weeks since they became human, I seem to be used to it. Today passed without much trouble. The more I think about that name Hot 5 Soy told me, the lamer it seems. I've told Soy and Shinbi that the principal asked me to look over them, but I'm worried that they won't continue to buy that story. Soy and Shinbi are the first people I've connected with after entering the academy. But still, I haven't told them about my personal life, including my hobby. Am I doing the right thing? I glance up and see the shelf. The dolls stand there in line as usual. These dolls are a huge part of me, but I can't talk about them easily. Let's stop having gloomy thoughts. Won't there come a day when I can tell the truth? There will come a day when I become confident of myself and want to show my true self to my friends. When that day comes, wouldn't it be easy for me to tell them? I stare at the eyes silently looking at me and think, Hot 5. Hot 5. Even while having sad thoughts, when I think of that name, I can't help but laugh. I ended up laughing for some time in the empty room, and the boys thought I had finally lost it. Ooh, is it breakfast time again? As usual, Tay was cooking, and everyone else, including me, was having breakfast. It seems Yuri will never come out of that bathroom. Obviously, he's drying his hair or praising his looks reflected on the mirror. I smell something sweet in the steaming mug. It's some kind of tea with a good scent. What kind of tea is this? It's made in Banjul. Oh, right. I'll drop by the cafe today. Oh, this lemon tea. Ugh. So many memories associated with that tea. Oh, will you? I've never been to the place Tay works at. I asked Soy and Shimby to go, but Shimby was too busy. Should I have just told Soy it's the cafe Tay works at? Then Soy would have headed to the cafe before school even finished. It smells good. What is this tea called? Congo Bongo. It's the best-selling tea. Oh right, this is the Congo Bongo one. He smiled softly like the scent of the tea. I felt calmer after drinking the warm tea. Ah, I never thought I could feel this calm in the morning. My honey, there's nothing about those sweet tea leaves to love. Yuri interrupted my piece like the devil he is. And now, have this. He put something on the table. This? It's the latest smartphone. It's called Universe G. Universe G? It sounds like some villain's lair.
Aren't you amazed by my sensibility? Now this is what a true gentleman does.
Yuri ignored Red's comment and sleekly combed his hair back. The smooth surface and white frame sparkled. Wasn't it red? Wow! I saw the ad for this on TV. I didn't remember the name, but I remembered the ad.
This is my gift, full of love for my honey.
What?
Use this and become a smart, sensible woman.
What do you mean? The smartphone is for me? Yuri. Next time I will just take it, but we gotta get all these boys' phones so that I can text them. Yuri, I can't take this. I can't take something this expensive from you. And besides, I had no idea how he got all the money. Could have been shady. Shady money.
You don't have to feel uncomfortable. My honey's not actually against this kind of electronic device, are you? But you should at least have a touchscreen if you want to become a classy modern woman.
It's not that I don't like those devices.
Then what does my honey want? I'll make note of it next time I choose a present, so tell me. But I want you to take this first. It pains me to watch you use that crappy old phone.
I was thankful that he cared to give me a gift, but there was a reason why I couldn't take it. There's no reason for me to get such a big gift from you. A chocolate or something small would have been different, but not a smartphone.
Of course there are reasons. My honey's our owner. I do not want to see my owner open and close an old folding phone or something as shameful as that.
I lost words after hearing what Yuri said. I did feel thankful that a doll would care about me this much.
It's not even a big deal.
Oh, right. For someone like Yuri who gets an expensive pair of shoes for free, this wouldn't be such a big deal.
What's the problem here? I can't understand.
You won't understand, no matter how much I explain. You won't know since you always give and take expensive gifts like they're nothing. You won't know what those gifts mean to a normal person. Yuri's smartphone was expensive, but it didn't entail as much care.
A lady should just take what she gets. She just has to enjoy the love and power.
Then I have one condition.
A condition? My honey's picky. I do find that quite attractive, though.
I'll use it if you promise to buy smartphones for the rest of the boys.
Why should I spend my money on other men?
Oh my goodness, those creepy eyes are back. Never mind if you don't want to. Here, take it. I won't take the gift. I'm happy with the one I'm using anyways. Yuri thought seriously for a moment.
I do not want to receive anything from that insect.
Lance laid down his spoon and spoke. Shut up, you. But if everyone has smartphones, wouldn't it be more comfortable? We can stay in contact. Like you and I used to stay in contact all the time. Remember?
If Yuri wants to spend money, shouldn't we help Lance?
Lance didn't say anything.
I want one. Everyone in my class keeps on asking for my number. I was sorry I couldn't tell them.
Yeah, and if we have smartphones, we can video chat.
Wow! So I could look at Master's face.
What? We can talk on the phone while seeing our friends' faces? Red suddenly stopped eating and stood up. I thought he was too busy eating, but he must have been listening the whole time. Friends. Well, yeah, that's how it goes. Then I want one. I'd be able to communicate constantly with Yellow and the Commander. Then we can use that smartphone thingy to have strategy meetings. We'll be as 10 times as strong. I guess so. I nodded and pretended to agree with overly excited Red, since everyone has to agree in order to get the smartphones.
These poor souls getting left behind civilization. It won't be so bad for me to help.
I've learned to ignore Yuri's such words. Such words.
Alright, I get it. If everyone wants one. I have never said I wanted one. I will do my best to help. Now, do you feel brave enough to use the smartphone?
Yuri cut Lance's words and stared at me. Well, if you're willing, thanks.
Good. Now, let's get a cab and go to school, darling.
I don't want to. Yuri's been trying to convince me to go to school with him. I'm already used to his tricks. Yuri seemed confused at me refusing right away.
My honey is so stubborn. Why is that?
Because you're dangerous.
Yep, I don't like it too. Going to school with that pervert. I would feel bad for anyone who has to deal with that.
I'd rather you go with me.
All 5 said something. Yep, you heard. That's why.
Are all my haters gathered here? Well, I know haters are fans too in the end.
Well, you wanted a reason, so I gave it to you. To be honest, it wasn't because I didn't like Yuri. It was because I felt bad for going to school comfortably without the rest of the boys. It's because I'm the only one who goes to school comfortably. I'd say yes if we could take the cab all together. Sometimes the bus is so hellish I want to go by myself. But I would never forgive myself for taking the easy road alone.
Why are you so obsessed with that altogether? My honey is so clueless about romance. If you're picky like that, you miss good opportunities like this.
Yuri leaned his head forward. As Yuri's face approached mine, his face filled my sight. Looking at him from up close, I realized yet again how beautiful and handsome he is.
I would prefer to miss such chances.
Lance grabbed his bag and said without a single glance towards Yuri. Thanks to Lance, I came to my senses and stopped staring blankly at Yuri's face. Thanks, Lance! Phew! I almost just stood there staring at Yuri's face like a fool. Lance ignored me and went out of the living room. I heard Yuri tisking right in front of me. At Tay's words from the living room, I gathered myself and looked. I saw Tay, Red, and Yeonho all putting their shoes on at the front door. Tay stood in front of the open door and looked at me. Don't lean in close like that. You scared me. I have to go to the academy now. As I tried to reason with him, Yuri backed off and made a mysterious face. And then he put his hand on his head like he was tired.
You are quite the complicated woman.
I ignored Yuri's mumbling and went towards Tae, who was waiting. Sorry, Yuri. You'll appreciate it next time, I'm sure. Maybe I won't be so complicated, who knows?
Oh no. Yes, this is the thigh bone and this is the shin bone. FYI, the thigh bone is most beautiful when you view it by a window when the sun is setting at around 5 or 6. On the contrary, the shin bone is most beautiful when you look at it while drinking coffee in the morning. Write this down and not the other useless things.
I felt this during music class, but don't you think our academy chooses strange teachers? Yep, I agree. Although at science class, our school nurse Mr. Yujin was teaching. It was because he was especially asked to give a special lecture on the mysterious human body for today. I wondered what made our science teacher ask Mr. Yujin to teach. Well, considering the lecture topic, Mr. Yujin might have volunteered. This isn't going to be in the exam, is it?
And this, the cute slender ankle bone. This is the proximal phalanx, and this guy's...
Mr. Yujin, we've heard enough praise about the bones. Don't you have anything more interesting? I've already heard this so much from you, I can probably guess where the bones are with my eyes closed.
Soy, who once had a crush on Mr. Yujin and planned her honeymoon with him, raised her hand and spoke. After speaking, she plopped down on the desk in boredom.
She's right. Mr. Yujin, talk about something else. Something else.
Yeah, I've heard it every time I went to the infirmary. I know the human body now.
Mr. Yujin's expression fell more and more. Is it because he can't talk about the bones he loves so much? I feel more nervous the sadder he looks.
I didn't realize how eager you all are to learn something new. All right. From now, we will apply the knowledge we already know and actually dissect something. You all know what dissecting is, right? There are some kids that never wake up from the dissection, but that's only about 10%, so no need to worry.
At that moment, the whole class froze.
Mr. Yujin, now that I think about it, there's still so much more to learn about bones. I need to learn more theory.
Me too, Mr. Yujin. Now that I think about it, I only know the upper human body.
The path to enlightenment is a long and hard one.
No need to refuse. They say it's better to experience once than listen 100 times. So let's see. Who should we use?
Everyone turned pale and turned down the dissection. Since there's around 30 people in this class, does it mean at least 3 are passing over to the other side? After figuring out the stats, I had to shake my head at the creepy numbers. I turned around to find Yeonho next to me, pale as a ghost, looking at me.
If I'm chosen, don't be so sad. The cookie I hid on top of the shelf. Take it.
He said it as if he was just about to go into war. Anyway, the cookie on top of the shelf. I gotta look for that when I get home. That sentence, oh my goodness.
Let's see. It has to be someone with very pretty bones.
Mr. Yujin's gaze stopped at Lance.
Oh, are you the new transfer student? If I had known you were this high quality, I would have paid more attention to you.
Mr. Yujin looked at Lance and smacked his lips. At hearing high quality, I felt a prick at my conscience.
Good. Both left and right are perfect, and the symmetry is quite nice.
Mr. Yujin looked at Lance's face and kept on nodding.
It's perfect. You will be a very beautiful sample. My heart is already pounding.
Mr. Yujin's voice was raising with excitement.
Oh, the more I look, the more I see the beauty. How were you born with such perfect bones? No need to even mention the ribs, and even the sacrum is perfect. Are you even human? You are too perfect to be human. You're like a doll God crafted with his own hands with all his might.
Ah! I was suddenly startled from what Mr. Yujin said.
Hey, you over there, come up front. Feel honored that I'm in great condition today. Days like this don't come often. Today I'll have one of the top 3 dissecting experiences of my life. I absolutely refuse.
Mr. Yujin, I have a request.
Soy raised her hand in a flash. What does she mean by a request? No way, is she trying to save Lance? I thought that maybe in a long time, no, for the first time, we'll see Soy act like a true class president.
A request? What is it?
You just said that Lance's ribs and sacrum are beautiful.
Yes, I did.
You are talking about bones, right?
Of course.
But Lance is wearing his uniform.
What's that got to do with anything?
That means you can see beneath the uniform and see his bones. In short, you can see through things. So I have a request. Share your eyes with me, or please pass on the secret. I want to see too.
I thought the cut line for our academy was pretty high.
It is.
Well, I feel like that's been changed nowadays.
I actually agree. Hey you, why aren't you coming up?
Mr. Yujin ignored Soy's words. His eyes were still persistently sparkling towards Lance.
Mr. Yujin, wait!
When Soy was about to say something again, the seat next to me shook.
I will.
Yeonho suddenly stood up.
I will do it instead. So don't torture my friend Lance, please. No! Yeonho! Don't volunteer, it's dangerous.
Yellow chick.
I can't watch this without crying.
Mr. Yujin strode towards Yeonho and stood in front of him.
You have thin bones. Are you still going through puberty? But the figure's there. The balance is good too. This is quite interesting too. I almost want you as a sample. I want those bones over there, but yours aren't bad either.
His eyes looked crazed.
No, you have a rare charm. One of you is definitely going to be my specimen today. I haven't had such a happy worry in ages.
His glasses genuinely sparkled. If both refused, he would drag one of them away. Lance and Yeonho would be in danger if I stay still. What do I do? Sorry, Lance. Gotta save Yeonho. Imagining Yeonho lying down on the experiment table, I instinctively thought to save him. I was about to raise my hand to get Mr. Yujin's attention when Yeonho's voice stopped me.
Will you really be okay with me?
Oh, is there any problem?
I have a lot of scars here and there. Will you be okay with this body?
I came to my senses after hearing Yeonho's comment. Scars? It is true that Yeonho has a lot of scars. He's a used doll, so the scars he got from the previous owner are still there. Oh my goodness, I'm very scared now. I felt bad to see him worry about that instead of trying to escape this. So I was about to open my mouth to save him somehow.
Check.
Mr. Yujin, don't do that to Yeonho.
Yeah, what are you trying to do to a sick person? All of a sudden, the kid started to bash Mr. Yujin. Without any sign of embarrassment, he thought for a bit and opened his mouth.
All right, it goes against courtesy to touch a scarred body.
Mr. Yujin was surprisingly merciful. I was about to relax when Mr. Yujin's gaze turned towards Lance again.
Then the specimen will have to be that body. I refuse.
We can't sacrifice Lance, especially not if it's for me.
When Yeonho desperately cried out, the air suddenly became serious.
Lance, don't do that for me.
I have only said that I refuse.
If you are satisfied with this body, then I... Lance was about to explain when Yeonho interrupted. Yeonho seemed to be too immersed in the situation. Yeonho held on to his shirt collar and started to tremble.
No!
After seeing that, Soy began getting teary and stood up.
If you're going to cut into the chick, then cut this class president first.
Soy shouted dramatically like an actress.
I'm not really interested in your bones, if you recall our previous conversation.
Mr. Yujin responded indifferently, but Soy paid no attention and walked towards the podium, and Soy lay down on the platform to protest. Thankfully, the class ended without any victims. Phew. And that ended that chapter. My goodness. We're gonna find out about how Yeonho got his scars, I wonder.